fantasy, right? Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very exciting video for you. I decided to go through my bookshelves and see all the books that I haven't read but I am hoping to read in 2019. All of these books I've already purchased. These are not any new releases or books that I'm planning to buy, but books that I already own, and it is time for me to read them, to get to them, or I've been dying to get to them. So let's just get to them because I have a lot of them. I have more than 17 books here, so I'm just gonna go through the titles and tell you guys a little bit about them if I know something about them, because I like going into books not knowing a lot about the plot or the characters or any spoilers, please. First off, I want to start with a book that I already started reading this year, and that is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I started reading this book the last week of December. I am currently doing a reading vlog on this book because that's what I had planned since the beginning. I had just planned to read it during the winter break, but I didn't finish it and I didn't try to finish it. It is a really good book. I'm on page 38. I haven't been able to pick it up, but I really love it right now. And after I'm done with it, I want to continue with The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss too. Is the second part to The Name of the Wind. Side note, most of these books are part of series, so if I start a series, I'm planning on finishing it or keep reading them. So I'm just gonna show you guys the second book from the series, if it is a series, and you guys can just imagine that I'm naming the whole series. The next book I have is Nevernight by J. Kristoff. This book I've had on my TBR for a very long time already, and I just don't get to it, but this time I am gonna get to it because I have the audiobook and I need to read the book while I listen to the audiobook because I think that's the best experience ever. So once I'm done with Nevernight, I'm gonna continue with God's Grave by J. Kristoff. This is the second part to the Nevernight Chronicles. I love these covers. I don't know why people prefer the UK covers. They're nice, but I really like the US covers because they're very dark, and I believe the third book is coming out this year, so that would be nice to be able to finish the whole series this year. The next book I have here is The Thief by Megan Waller Turner. This book I got because I've heard Reagan rave about this book. She already finished the whole series and she talks amazing things about this books, so I picked them up. I have the whole series, so I'm gonna try to pick up all of them this year. The next book I have is Every Heart a Doorway by Sheena McGuire. These books are so well known in the booktube community. A lot of people love them, especially because they are so because they're so tiny and they are very fast to get through and very magical. I believe they're magical realism, and that is something that I love in literature, because magical realism, it's so beautiful when it's well done. So I've heard that it is very well done in this series, so I want to pick them up. I also have the second one to this series, but I don't have it here with me. But trust me, if I pick this up and I like it, I'm gonna continue with the series. The next book I have is another fantasy book, and that is The Demon King. I've heard Reagan rave about this book so much, and then Brittany also started reading them and she loved them. So I really want to get to this one this year. This book I don't know anything about. It's shocking because I see reviews or I hear reviews, but everything just goes through, like I don't retain anything but the fact that people like it, and that's enough for me. So I have no idea what this book is about. I just know it's fantasy. Another book that I have no idea what it is about is The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. I've heard great things about this one. Ashley from A Dash of Ash actually loves this series. I think it's one of her favorite series, she said. And I don't own the second part, but once I read this one and I like it and I want to continue it, I am gonna get the second one and continue with the series. The next book I have here is The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I've had this book in my TBR every single month since October. I just never get to it, but I think 2019 is the year that I read something by Neil Gaiman because I really want to read something by him and I just need to pick this book up. The next book, I've heard so many good reviews, but then I've also heard ish reviews. Some people like it, some people love it, some people don't, and that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This book, it's beautiful. I think we can all agree that the covers are beautiful, and I just really want to read it because I love when books are lyrical, and that's all I've heard from this book. I hear that Laini Taylor's writing is very special. Even if I don't like the story or the story's not for me, I really want to see the hype on the type of writing that she does. But when so many people rave about the writing style of an author, that also intrigues me, and that is something that I also enjoy in reading a book. The next book I have is Psych by Neil Chesterman. By Neil Chesterman. If you guys have read this book, please let me know if you like it. Everyone seems to like it, so I hope I enjoy it too. The next book is a book that I've had in my shelf for a very long time. I've known about this author for a very, very long time, but I really don't read science fictions. So that is the reason why I haven't picked up his series, and that is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I have the first one and the second one, and I also bought the audiobooks so I can listen and read. So that's what I'm planning to do with Red Rising as well as Nevernight. I'm gonna read and listen at the same time, and I think that's gonna be a very nice experience because I love doing that. The next book I have is something that I don't know why I haven't read yet, and I'm very disappointed in myself, and that is Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. I went to her signing. This book is signed and I still haven't picked it up, and that is because I want to read Vicious again, and that's what I was gonna do since the beginning. I was gonna reread Vicious so I could read Vengeful, but I haven't read Vicious again, so I can't read Vengeful. That's the plan for 2019. I'm gonna reread Vicious and then I'm gonna read Vengeful because it needs to be done, people. The next book I hope to get to soon because I've been wanting to read for a very long time is Three Dark Crowns by Kendra Blake. Sorry, I butchered that name. A lot of people have read this and a lot of people like it. The third book already came out. I believe there's also like a novella binding between the second and the third book. I think it's gonna be a super fun read, although dark and magical, but very exciting nonetheless. The next book I have is Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson. This book I got last year because I was planning to read it and I didn't. I love Peter Pan and I've heard this book is really good. Peter Pan is one of my favorite stories, and I don't know why I haven't picked this one up because I love the cover and a lot of people like it, so I'm planning to get to it soon. The next book I have is The Nightingale by Kristen Hann. This book is so beautiful. The cover is beautiful. I found this at a Goodwill and it was only $3. It's in such good condition. I believe it's from World War II, and I really don't pick up those kind of books, so hopefully I get to it this year. The next book I have here is Fruit of the Drunken Tree by Ingrid Rojas Contreras. I went to one of her signings and she read something from this book and it was so good and so beautiful. I'm really excited to read it. The next two books are the last books I have and they are in Spanish, but that is El Alquimista by Paulo Coelho. Apparently this book is too white. Okay, there we go. It's called El Alquimista in Spanish. This book I've had it in my shelf for a very long time. Well, not this one. I have it in English, but I've always wanted to read it in Spanish instead. My boyfriend read it in English a few months ago, and he knew that I wanted to read it too, but I wanted to read the Spanish edition. So he was the nicest person and got me this book for Christmas so I could read it in Spanish, And of course, now that I have it in Spanish, I'm gonna read it this year, and I am really excited because I've been wanting to read one of Coelho's books for the longest times, and I don't know why I haven't, so this is a year. And last book but not least is also a book in Spanish, and that is Ensayo sobre la ceguera by José Saramago. This book, I've heard amazing things. My coworker actually gifted it for my birthday last year, and she said it's really good. She couldn't tell me what it was about because she forgot. She just remembered how much she loved it. So she gifted it to me along with another 2 of his works, which have the same cover and they all match. I didn't say the title in English, but it's an essay about blindness, and you can kind of see how people are following each other. And I think this book is really going to help me reflect. It's going to make me reflect in life, probably. So I'm really excited to read this book and hopefully enjoy it. Okay guys, that is all for today. I know I had a lot of books for 2019, and those are just the books that I had on my shelf that I want to get to. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you guys did, please don't forget to give it a like or subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Also, don't forget to comment if you have read any of these books, or if you like them, if you don't, why you like them, why you didn't. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!